Yo, 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 what's going on? My guy Justin, it's your boy SK with Purple and SKOL'd Media, and we're also on Purple and Gold for days. What's
How's
going on,
everybody doing?
Justin? How we
Chilling.
feeling?
We
Draft is right
feeling
around the corner, man.
it is right around the corner, man. And that's the beautiful thing. You got your initial wave of free agency, and then you got this dead period. When are we gonna trade Dalvin Cook? What are we gonna do with Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter? And are we gonna make some trades? We're gonna trade up, we're gonna trade back. It's the fun time of the off season right now.
Right. So much to talk about, especially in Vikings land. So much more
Absolutely.
movement that needs to be made and storylines that are going to come out just within the next 2 to 3 weeks leading up to the draft. So it's a lot to talk about. What's up, Mike? Mike
What's up, Mike?
Castellino
How you
tapping
doing?
in. I did a live with Mike. What was it
Last week.
last week? Last
Hmm.
week we had a good little mock draft we did and everything. So that was fun. Thanks for tapping in, Mike. Everybody else, tap in with the comments. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure to hit that like, hit that share button, and hit those stars. Give us some support, man. We're just out here trying to live our dream and talk Minnesota Vikings football. So hit those stars for us, support the channel. And as well on YouTube, hit those likes. We need to see those likes, guys. And then also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Not only Purple and SKOL'd Media, but also Purple and Gold for days. I get them mixed up saying them back to back because it's Purple and SKOL'd and Purple and Gold for days. Got to get it right. But yeah, man, we're gonna get down to it just like we always do. We always get
Absolutely.
down to it, right, Justin?
We
So
know.
we're gonna do a little mock draft today, but we're gonna we're gonna go outside the boundaries of just the Minnesota Vikings for maybe half of this show today, and we're just gonna mock the top 10 picks. Could the Minnesota Vikings possibly trade up and get into the top 10? We may see that because we have no control over any of the teams that may offer the top 10 teams trade. So we could be sitting there as the Las Vegas Raiders, and we get a little call from the Minnesota Vikings trying to trade up in the top 10. So that may be interesting to look for. So it's going to be fun. I like kind of talking about football in general. Don't get me wrong. We're still going to talk Minnesota Vikings like we always do.
You know that.
But at the end of the day, man, we're football fans. We like
Absolutely.
talking football. So we're gonna get that top 10 mock draft. But just leading up to the draft, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Minnesota Vikings, and we'll get the mock draft going. We'll only spend about 5 minutes on that. We're gonna keep it short for you guys today. Make sure to leave your comments too. We're gonna get to those as well. But leading up to the draft, I mean, it seems like we go through every week the position of need or the position that we think we're gonna go in the first round seems to change almost day to day. It almost seems like, Justin.
Right.
So right now, where are we sitting at? Where are we going round one? What is the position of need? Or not even necessarily the position of need. What is the position that the Minnesota Vikings are going to draft at the end of this month?
Well, I'll answer your question with a question. It depends on what their mindset is. If you ask what's their biggest position of need for the 2023 season, you can make an argument for cornerback. You can make an argument for interior defensive line. You can make an argument for wide receiver.
Yep.
If you're talking about what's the Vikings' biggest need when you're talking about not just the 2023 season, you can come up with a couple different answers. So if we're going to stick to one side of the house or the other, you can come up with a bunch of different answers. Like you said, if you're talking about just 2023, there's 4 or 5 positions. You can go through almost every position that's not named
Yeah.
quarterback, fullback, or kicker or punter. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything else you could do. You could do defensive backfield, linebackers, defensive line, interior offensive line, wide receiver,
Maybe
anything.
besides tight end, I think we
Tight
might be
end.
a lock
Okay.
at tight end.
We're good at tight end. That's a good point. But if you're talking long-term future, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the key as a general manager. How do you balance what you need right now to be competitive for the upcoming season versus, okay, I've got this slew of players where this many are on the last year of their contracts, or this is a position that we could upgrade long term at or hope to upgrade long term at. So that's the delicate tightrope that Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has to walk as to, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Kirk Cousins is 98% going to be the starting quarterback in the Minnesota Vikings in the 2023 season.
Yep.
Just to recap what has happened, they sat down at the negotiating table. The Vikings offered him 1 year. Kirk wanted at least 2. And right now they're at an impasse. So if you're going to go into this draft and you've made your mind up to say this is the last dance for Kirk Cousins, well, then you have to decide, is this the year you draft a quarterback to replace him in 2024, or do you put that off for another year? Now, does that make that the biggest area of need? Not necessarily, but it's something that you have to keep in mind. What's up, Skull Mafia? How you doing? So
Yeah, what's up, Skol Mafia?
that's what it is. That's why he gets paid the general manager bucks. Is where do I put my resources? Do I put my resources on fixing the needs for this coming season, or do I put my resources into fixing my long-term possibilities as well? So,
yeah. But where are you leaning?
where am I going?
What position? Yeah, well, no. Yeah, okay, not your feeling, but what's your feeling that we're gonna go? Are we gonna go quarterback? Are we really gonna go quarterback at 23 with Hendon Hooker? That we're getting mocked to. Hendon Hooker is getting mocked to us in multiple mock drafts. It's kind of getting scary to me. Don't get me wrong. I like Hendon Hooker, but at 23,
no. Go ahead. You don't have to. It's a no for me. I like Hendon Hooker in the second round. If you're not going to do the trade up to try to get, as School Mafia put out there, an Anthony Richardson, or if Anthony Richardson gets taken in the top 2 and Bryce Young is still available at 3 or beyond, if you're not going to go that route and you miss out on Will Levis, let's say Will Levis falls to say pick 15 or 16. I can see the Vikings trading up about 8 spots for a guy like that. I'm not interested in trading up the farm to get a guy like Will Levis. If I'm trading the farm, I'm getting one of Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson. But let's say you miss out on both of those possibilities. I do not like the idea of taking Hendon Hooker with the 23rd pick. If you wanted to trade back to say 29 and recuperate some other capital that way, take the 4th or 5th wide receiver that's available and then make a trade and come back and get Hendon Hooker, I'm okay with that plan. Absolutely. But just straight up taking Hendon Hooker at number 23, thanks, but no thanks. There's too many questions. I'm sorry. What's up, Kyle? How you doing?
Hey, we're starting to get some people piling in. Hit those like buttons, guys.
Please
if you're watching on Purple and Gold for days, go ahead and go over to the Purple and SKOL'd media page. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching on the Purple and SKOL'd media page, go ahead and go over to the Purple and Gold for days. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And if you're on Facebook too, do the same for both channels, guys. But we appreciate you guys' support. Let's see. Let's get to these comments. Minneapolis.
I like it.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. I love that name. Says,
thanks for joining.
Oh, that's right. Got the little devil horns there. What's that? NC Dog Dude. Yo,
North Carolina Dog Dude. That's my guy Kyle that joins me and Mike in Spaces a lot. And I was actually on his show last week here. That's Kyle. Thanks for joining, Kyle. Appreciate you.
Okay, we got a prediction here. Minneapolis, Minnesota says Levis is falling to 23. I don't want Hooker. You believe Levis will fall to 23?
That's tough because you have to filter through this time of the year how much of the information that is being disseminated is true and how much of it is smokescreens trying to drum up leverage. I made reference on one of my videos about when it was talking about Lamar Jackson, we're talking about Kirk Cousins. Who's leaking this information and why? Is it the team that's trying to gain leverage over a player, or is it the player's agent that's trying to gain leverage over a team? The amount of mockage of both Hendon Hooker and Will Levis and how interested the Vikings are in either one of those two guys, is it legit or is it smoke screens to say, well, if you want one of these two guys, you better get him before Minnesota does because Minnesota's going to take him. I don't know. If Will Levis fell to 23, that's a position where I'm comfortable taking Will Levis.
You kind of got to. You kind of got to at that point.
Have to. Yes.
You'd be dumb to pass it up. I mean, look, he could be a bust. He could be another, just like it's thrown out there so recklessly, another Christian Ponder just because we drafted a quarterback in the first round. But you can't go into that thinking, oh my God, well, if we do this, it's going to be another player. It's going to be a terrible risk and it's going to set our franchise. But you can't go about it that way. And to be honest, yes, the Minnesota Vikings as a franchise, we don't have a Super Bowl, but we are a very relevant franchise. We will bounce back if we lose a player or if we have a bust in a quarterback like Christian Ponder. This franchise manages to bounce back. Yes, we haven't conquered the ultimate goal, but we always find a way to bounce back and put together very good teams. And eventually we will conquer that goal and win the Super Bowl title. It's probably not going to be this year, but yeah, but this organization is run well to where we're not going to be
a train wreck.
Yeah, we're not going to be a train wreck once Kirk Cousins leaves or if we draft a quarterback and he doesn't work out. If Will Levis is sitting there at 23, you got to take him. There's no question about it. I don't think you're going to have teams trying to trade up for Will Levis. I don't think he makes it to 23, if I'm being completely honest.
I mean, East Coast put his in, hey, Justin, you already know how I feel about Levis, and we do. I mean, he's out on Will Levis, if I remember correctly. But I'm
almost there, but at 23, you got to take him.
I can listen to the argument. But to your point about, and I'm going to get to this comment here from Minneapolis in just a moment, but think back to, we were talking about it last night, the Herschel Walker trade. We lost 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks and a whole lot more. And Dennis Green came in and we still went to the playoffs. Yeah. Okay? So if you take a quarterback, whether it's a Will Levis at 23 or even if it's you trade 3 first-round picks to take an Anthony Richardson or a Bryce Young and they don't work out, the franchise isn't going to fold. It's not. Now, it's unfortunate that you would waste that draft capital, but just think back. Since 2015, before Justin Jefferson and Christian Darrisaw were our 2 good first-round picks, you had a year in 2016 where you drafted Laquan Treadwell. You had nothing in 17 because we traded for Sam Bradford. 18 was Mike Hughes. 19 was Garrett Bradbury, if I recall correctly. All right. Yeah. And then 2020 is finally Justin Jefferson. You're going to tell me right now that if the Vikings traded up the same capital that they used on Laquan Treadwell, Garrett Bradbury, and Mike Hughes to get an Anthony Richardson, that, oh my gosh, this team would fall apart. We didn't fall apart when we wasted those 4 first-round draft picks when it's all said and done. So with all that being said, we've said it on both of our channels. Scared money doesn't make money.
Exactly.
Okay? There are times to be conservative. There's times to hold your cards to the vest, and then there's times to just go for it. So at the end of the day, we need to get past this Christian Ponder, PSTD, Teddy Bridgewater, who was an okay quarterback who was ascending, but then he got injured and then he was done. Get past the Tavares Jackson fears. You know what? Lots of teams pick quarterbacks. You're never going to find a final product coming out of college. They don't exist. Nope. There's always an inherent risk. So
always
get over it. Let's get it.
Money don't make money. Yes. Scare money don't make money. So let's get to this one last comment, and then we're going to do our top 10 mock, and then we'll do a quick Minnesota Vikings mock draft as well, and then we'll get out of your guys' hair for the day. But our favorite name so far, look, we got a lot of good names that tap into our podcast.
Absolutely.
But Minneapolis, Minnesota might take the cake. Says, I personally just think the new GM isn't messing around, lighting a fire under anything and anyone, and I love it.
Absolutely.
I agree. It's long overdue. I mean, I love Rick Spielman, and I still love him, regardless of what you feel about his draft and who he picked and who he didn't pick and how he handled certain situations. I liked Rick Spielman a lot, but the thing I didn't like about him is he didn't have much I'm going to take care of business in me. It was very passive, Rick Spielman. I'm not going to cut the hometown hero guy if I need to, or a veteran player, a veteran Minnesota Viking. Kwesi, he said, I don't got ties to any of you guys. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move on. I don't care who you are. Let's go. So I agree with you, man. Like,
absolutely. I'm going to say 2 things.
Gotta love the change of scenery. Go ahead.
Yes.
Justin.
I'm going to say 2 things on Minneapolis's thing right here. First off, you are now right there, objects in the mirror closer than they appear, with the greatest Twitter handle, YouTube handle of all time, and that's My Worthless Opinion. And I say that on every show that I do, every time I see him on there. And for
his
a while,
always great.
Yeah, because it's hilarious. I'm going to say it like this. You're right there because that is a beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah,
wonderful handle. But to your point,
keep it
we
up.
did a live when they cut Adam Thielen, and it was right after they had also cut Eric Kendricks. And
Yeah,
what did I say? Kwesi is taking no prisoners right now,
man.
and he has got zero bleeps left to give. He's coming in, he's cleaning house, and he doesn't give a dang about anybody's feelings at this point. And I totally agree with Minneapolis there to say, hey, I'm here for it. And it's long, long overdue to finally get into a point where we're moving on from the same old stuff. I love it.
And it's not just those two moves that show that example. It's also the Kirk Cousins move of, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we're not look, we appreciate the discount, we appreciate the offer, but yeah, we're looking in a different direction. He ain't playing with that. You look at the Za'Darius situation. Za'Darius
Mm-hmm.
went to the extent of posting on his Instagram, on his Twitter, thank you, Skull Nation, Minnesota. It's been great. It's been a great 1 year. Like, I'm out of here. Not a word from Kwesi. Hasn't traded him. Hasn't cut
Mm-hmm.
him. He's playing hardball. He's playing hardball. So I love it. I love it. We need to change the scenery. I love the term Minnesota nice, but not for my football team.
No, you need
So
dogs.
we
What's
need
up,
dogs.
Pop? What's up,
We
Rap?
need we need dogs. So I completely agree with you. It's a great change of scenery. And to be honest with you, our team's getting we got a little savvy now. We got a little
Yes.
swagger now. Like before it was just so vanilla and we had, obviously we had great players. We have Harrison Smith still, but we had Harrison Smith, we had Everson Griffin, but we didn't really have a identity or a sense of cool. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, we're cool now. We're one quarterback away from being the coolest team in the league.
They had a lot
There's
of
no shot
quiet
against
leaders.
Kurt.
Right. They had a lot of quiet leaders. And what I mean by
Yes,
that is, Everson Griffin, when he was in his prime, was like the one guy, the rah-rah, I'm gonna
only.
run through a wall to get you everybody pumped up and that
Mhm.
sort of thing. Daniil Hunter, he's I'm gonna let my play do the talking. It takes me back to the movie Remember the Titans, where you had those two linebackers that didn't like each other for
Mhm.
more than just football reasons, let's just say. And Bertier was the I'm gonna get in your face and I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you what you're doing wrong. And Julius Campbell, that character was just like, man, I'll let you do the talking. I'm just gonna go play football.
Yeah.
But they were both leaders and they both had different leadership styles.
Mhm.
Right now, the Vikings, since Everson Griffin left, I mean, Harrison Smith's not that rah-rah guy. He just goes out and takes care of his business.
Nothing
And
wrong with it.
which is
Nothing
nothing
wrong
wrong
with
with
it.
that. But you need to have a balance of guys that are quiet leaders that let their play do the talking, and you still need to have somebody go out there and let you know what's up. So
Yeah. Absolutely. So it's fun to see. It's fun to watch. It's bittersweet because you got to say goodbye to some guys, but it is what it is.
right.
But let's get this mock draft going, guys.
Let's
Everybody in
roll
here, hit
this.
that like button, not only for Purple and SKOL'd Media, but also go over to Purple and Gold for days and vice versa. Go and hit those like buttons and hit those subscribe buttons. We greatly appreciate it. Everybody on Facebook watching, make sure to hit those likes, shares, hey, and even hit those stars, man. We really appreciate that. It's going right back into the page to give you guys the best product we possibly can. So let me set up this mock draft. Can you see the comments on your end, Justin?
Yeah, I can still see him. I can't. I'm
Okay.
I'm hesitant to push the comment button because it's right next to the end button,
I
and on my
got you. I
phone,
got
I'm just
you.
kind of like, ooh, I don't want to get too close to the end button, and
I
all of a sudden
know
we off the
I
air.
seen a question here. I'll let you tend to that question right there while I set up this screen share. It's about the linebackers.
Oh, that's a good point, Kyle. No, we haven't acquired any linebackers yet. And right now, what do we got besides Asamoah and sort of Jordan Hicks? I agree. I think within the first three picks, they're going to take a linebacker. I don't think that there's any, unless they make a big splash to move up to get a quarterback and then they cost themselves a couple of extra round picks. I think that linebacker is definitely, I could see him as early in the first, but I definitely would say within the first 3 rounds, they're going to be taking a linebacker because that, oh,
Yeah.
well, along with the secondary is a need. Don't have a lot of depth there. But at the same time, something that Realistic Randy said on his channel was, you know what, why don't you build up your defensive line and that'll make things easier for the linebackers and for the
Mhm.
secondary. But no, Kyle, it's a very good point. We have a severe need at linebacker right now.
All right. So I'm setting up, like I said, we are going to stray away just a tiny bit from the Minnesota Vikings and just talk top 10 NFL draft picks. And we're going to mock the top 10. But like I said, there is a chance that the Minnesota Vikings, controlled by this little simulation of Pro Football Network, because Pro Football Network, I think, is the only one allowing trades. PFF did some stupid stuff and locked us out. You got to pay for it. And we're cool. We'll pass. I'll save my $7. It's okay. So we're going to use Pro Football Network. Just help me. I'm pretty sure I got the top 10 right as far as teams. But it would be the Houston
Panthers.
Texans. It would be the Colts. It would be the Panthers. It would be the Falcons. It would be the Cardinals, the Seahawks, Raiders, Broncos don't, right?
Broncos gave it to Seattle, yeah.
Seattle,
Detroit's in there, aren't they?
Detroit and Chicago. And none of the NFC East, correct? Yeah, none of the NFC East.
Correct. I apologize. I'm on my phone, so I can't look it up for you.
No, you're good. I think I got them all here. Tennessee
got the Raiders,
is outside of the top 10. Got the Raiders. Yeah, I think that's all the teams that I know about. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, and Seattle has 2 first-round picks. All right, cool. So let's get this going. We're gonna not spend too much time on each pick here, but here is the Carolina Panthers. Me personally, obviously, they go quarterback here. I'm gonna say all the talk and everything we've heard about C.J. Stroud and
I agree.
Will Levis and I think it's all smoke. I think they go Bryce Young. What do you think?
It's either Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, and I'm gonna say. You're right. All of the information is screaming one of those 2 players. I think it's going to be. It should. If it was me, I would take Bryce Young. But I still think that there's something to be said about C.J. Stroud as well. What was it in rap? You can put it in there because I know you heard it. Wasn't there something somebody overheard a conversation about? Kind of gave away that it was going to be Stroud or something like that. What's up, AJ? How you doing?
Supposedly Reich loves Stroud, but I'm not sure I believe that.
Okay.
I'm not sure I believe that. But we'll let you guys. Rap said Stroud. Next comment between Stroud and Bryce Young. That's who we're going to go with for the Carolina Panthers. I'm leaning Bryce Young. Seems like Justin is leaning Stroud a little bit. Yeah, let's see. Rap said Stroud. Let's see. Next comment gets the pick.
Dealer's choice. Whoever gets in first.
Dealer's choice. Or I'm just going to pick Stroud. I think we should just go Stroud.
Just go Stroud. That's fine.
We already had 2 for Stroud. That makes sense.
All right. Mike said C.J. Stroud, so there we go.
All right, cool. So now we have the Houston Texans. I think they go Bryce Young now since C.J. Stroud's off the board. I don't think they go Richardson or Levis here, right?
There's no way. If somebody took Levis, if they took Levis, I would be utterly shocked. I really would. I like him, but I don't love him. And, East Coast has put me onto some, I'm kind of hesitant on that. There is no way they take him at number 2 with both Richardson and Bryce Young still being there. That would just be crazy.
So, yeah, I think
that would be like that would be like taking somebody over Patrick Mahomes, like a Mitchell Trubisky or something. Oh, wait, that actually did happen. But in all seriousness, I go.
All right, Bryce Young off the board at number 2. All right, so we have one trade. Look, we can make trades. We are the GM of all these teams in the top 10. So the Eagles want to move up to pick 3. That's interesting. Now, as an Arizona Cardinal, that might not be a very bad for them. What do you think?
What's the compensation? I can't. It's too small. What is it?
Okay, so it's pick 3. Obviously, the Eagles are offering pick number 10, pick number 30, and their 2024 5th-round pick.
So they're talking about moving back 7 picks, getting the 2nd and 1st-round pick, and then getting another.
Yeah.
On the surface, I would do that if I'm the Cardinals.
It depends on if they like. So, all right. So if you're the Arizona Cardinals, where would you go? Who are you drafting? If there is no trade offer, who are you picking here? Is it Will Anderson? Is it Jalen Carter? Or is it Tyree Wilson?
If it's me, I take Jalen Carter and I run with it. But that's
Carter.
Just me. That's what if I'm Arizona. Obviously, they're not going to take a quarterback now that you just gave Kyler Murray $250 million. I think Arizona is desperate in the real world. I think Arizona is desperate to get the best package they can for this pick. And I think moving down 7 spots and getting another first round pick plus some additional change, that's a solid deal for them. My question on the table would be, what's Philadelphia moving up to 7? So who are they trying to get? That's what I want to know.
And AJ says that they're trying to get Jalen Carter possibly. Now we know the Philadelphia Eagles love drafting their offense and defensive line. That is their thing. They love doing that. So I don't know, man. You think we should make that trade, or are we drafting Jalen Carter? All right,
I would make that trade for them. Yep.
All right, so we accept it, and so the Eagles took Tyree Wilson. So we didn't have control of the Eagles. So now the Colts are on the clock, and they have a trade offer from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for pick number 4. Looks like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are trying to move up for that quarterback. Pick number 19, pick number 50, and the 2024 first-round pick from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
If this draft really went this way, this is where, if I'm the Vikings, I start calling every team. I call every team until Richardson's gone, because I would have been willing to trade up to 3 with Arizona. The fact that there was a different trade and we're just monkeying around here, and the fact that Richardson is still available there. Here's the deal. Indianapolis, if this is how the board fell, would take Anthony Richardson right here, and they wouldn't even think about it unless they ultimately end up with a Lamar Jackson as an example. Okay. But having said that, give me those picks from Tampa Bay one more time. 19, what else?
Pick 19, pick 50, and their 2024 first-round pick.
If I was the Colts, I'd want a little bit more, but I'd probably do the deal. If I was the Colts. Because that would then say, all right, they're going to probably, take that first-round pick next year, take the extra capital, and then take maybe get into the Will Levis conversation down there with what Tampa is, or maybe trade back up and get him at a later pick there. I don't know. What do you I mean, I think Indy would take if Indy doesn't get Lamar Jackson, I think Indy would take Anthony Richardson with this pick. I don't think they would trade out. But for the fun of it, would I do that deal? Yeah, I'd do that deal. And then try. If you're not sold on Richardson, yeah, do that deal and then come back and get Levis later. Absolutely.
Yeah, so you think we should accept it? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's
is there a way you can I can't see. Is there a way you can counter offer this?
There is a way I can counter offer it. I don't want to go into that much detail because we are a Vikings podcast.
Yeah, all right.
So let's try and just.
If we're being serious, I would reject the trade and I would take Anthony Richardson. Or I would reject the trade and I would call the Vikings and say, hey, are you sure? Here's your starting point. It's going to take you, your first round pick this year, first round pick that year. What do you guys got?
Business. All right, let's reject it and let's go Anthony Richardson.
Sorry, Rap. I ain't got control. I'm just along for the ride today.
Anthony Richardson. It is. All right. Seahawks on the clock now. We have one trade offer from the Saints. For pick number 5, they are offering pick 29, pick 40, pick 71, and Denver's second-round pick next year. So it looks like
that deal.
It looks like they're trying to move up for Levis. I don't see them trying to move up that far for anybody else.
I agree. If I'm Seattle, I would probably do that deal because you could then make so many other moves with that kind of capital.
You also still have that 20th pick too. So,
exactly.
But at that point, you're pretty much signing off on we're not drafting a quarterback unless you're going with one of those guys in Hendon Hooker or DTR. One of those guys. So you think Seattle's signing off on drafting a quarterback at least that high in the draft?
I would, and I would do this deal because you just signed Geno Smith to a 3-year deal. Everybody wants to tell me when I want the Vikings to trade up this year about how next year's quarterback draft class is also very, very stout. I would do if I'm Seattle, I would do that deal.
So just for kind of a visual for the Vikings here for comparison. The Vikings have the number 23 pick. I know we're not very big fans of Will Levis ourselves, but say the coaching staff and Kwesi are really big fans of Will Levis. You say this is a pretty fair trade for the Seahawks here. So what if the Vikings were to offer pick 23, the pick 87, and then next year's second round pick, and then probably another third? Would you do that for the Vikings?
No,
because it's Will Levis, but for Richardson, you would.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So are we accepting this?
I would accept that trade if I'm Seattle. They would have a bazillion picks for the next 2 years.
Let's accept
Absolutely.
it, and I'm sure they. Oh, they went Jalen Carter. Wow. And here's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers desperately trying.
So this simulator is definitely trying to get them Will Levis at this point.
Yes, they are. They're trying anything and everything in their power to trade up. And but what's surprising, I got to go back to the Saints. The Saints gave up that much to move up that many spots to draft Jalen Carter. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
It is, but I could see it. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. All right. So I'm looking at
what's the deal here. I can't see. What's the deal?
All right. So pick 6, which is the Detroit Lions, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are offering pick 19, pick 50, pick 82, and their second and third round picks next year. That's a haul.
I would hate this as a Vikings fan because that is a steal of a deal for Detroit. I don't see any scenario where I would reject that trade if I'm Detroit.
I mean, who's here that Detroit would really get? Maybe a Christian Gonzalez if they really want their quarterback of the future. If they feel some type of way about Will Levis and sitting him behind Jared Goff. You have a pair. Well, no, they're pretty set at offensive line. If they want to pair Will Anderson on the opposite side of Hutchinson, I don't know. That's hard. That's hard to pass up on that. So do you think they accept this?
I would accept that because Detroit's also still got their first round pick. So if they wanted to move back up, plus all of that, I mean, that's just stealing. That's robbing them. Yeah, I would do that deal if I'm Detroit. And if this was the real world, if I saw that the Detroit traded down and got that much, I'd be like, man alive, that sucks for us. But yeah, I would do that deal.
All right, we're gonna accept it, and I'm sure they'll get Levis. They didn't draft. They drafted Will Anderson.
Okay.
Will Levis is still on the board now. Okay. All right, we have 2 offers now. We have 2 offers for the 7th pick for the Las Vegas Raiders. The New England Patriots are offering pick 14, 46, and pick 117 for pick 7. We have another. We have another offer. We don't know the team yet. It's the Jets. They're offering pick 13 and pick 43.
And what was the other one?
7. And the other one was pick 14, 46, and 117.
If I'm the Raiders, I immediately reject the Jets offer. I like the Patriots. There's only one pick.
Oh,
difference, right?
Yeah.
So let's just get rid of that Jets trade. No chance I would do that.
Okay. So Patriots,
that's a lot of
14, 46, and 117.
46 and 117 to trade down 7 spots. I'd probably do that deal too. I probably would. That's a lot.
And we got a Patriots may not draft Will Levis. I don't think. No, they got Mac Jones.
They got Mac. Although there was a report today that they might be trying to get rid of Mac Jones. I don't know the validity of that. But
I'd be surprised if they draft Levis here. So they're moving up for maybe an edge rusher, a corner. Maybe they need a corner. Maybe a Christian Gonzalez,
a wide receiver. Maybe
we're gonna accept this.
Accept that one. Yes, let's keep rolling with it.
All right, and they take Christian Gonzalez.
Good call.
All right, and here is the Atlanta Falcons at pick number 8. We have 2 trade offers. First one is from the Tennessee Titans for pick number 8 and pick 75. They're offering pick 11 and pick 41 to move back 3 spots.
If Atlanta wanted Will Levis, they just would take him. But to move down 3 spots, and what's the back half again? The other 2 picks?
So it's Atlanta's 75th pick with their 8th for Tennessee's 11th pick and their 41. So they're
Move.
essentially swapping their third pick for another second round pick.
Yeah, I would.
Let's
I
look
would
at
do
the
that.
other offer.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. What's the other one?
The Jets again. Pick 13, 42, and their 6th round pick in next year's draft. And they're not asking for an extra pick.
I would probably
But
do.
you're moving. It's two spots more back from the 11th pick. I would. The Jets looks a little more appealing to me because I'm still holding on to my 75th pick.
Exactly.
And
So
I'm
I
only
would either
moving
take
back
the
2 spots.
I would either take the Jets offer, or I would pick a player. I definitely would throw out Tennessee's offer. Thanks, but no
So
thanks.
I don't think Atlanta would go Levis here because I don't think they see too much of a difference in between the Desmond Ridder and Will Levis. They invested in Ridder last year. I don't think they go Levis.
I agree.
So I could see the Falcons going edge. They had absolutely no pass rush last year, so I can see them going Miles Murphy here. Yeah, so I think it's Miles Murphy for the Falcons, or it's this Jets trade. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the trade again. We're only talking about 3 spots, and I don't think the Jets would be. I think the Jets maybe they're coming up for the top cornerback to pair with Sauce Gardner, because as Rappers pointed out, that would be an outstanding secondary.
Gonzalez just got picked by the
Excuse me,
Patriots.
you're right.
So it would be Witherspoon.
Witherspoon is the other guy. Yeah.
Corner.
Let's do this deal. Let's
take it. Let's see who the Jets go with. They go tackle Paris Johnson.
Okay.
All right, Chicago on the board at 9. We have 2 trade offers. First one is from the New York Giants, all the way back at pick 25, trying to move up to pick 9 for pick 25, 57, and their 2nd and 3rd round pick in next year's draft. For the Bears to move back 16
What's the other one?
spots. The next offer is from the Bengals. That's for pick 28, pick 60, and their 2nd and 3rd round pick next year.
If I'm the Chicago Bears, I don't do either one of those deals.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. You started off with the 1st overall pick and you moved back to 8th, and you got the haul. You would be moving back from the 1st overall pick this year and all the way into the mid to late 20s. No, I wouldn't do that. So let's take a player for the Bears.
Yeah, and I think for the Bears here, I think they go Miles Murphy. I think they need a pass rusher.
Yeah, let's just do Miles
Murphy. It's between Miles Murphy and Brian Breeze, and I think they go Murphy here.
I concur.
All right. And then the last pick of our top 10 here is the Arizona Cardinals. They have 2 trade offers here. Will Levis still on the board. So for pick 10, they have the Chargers trying to move up from pick 21, also offering 54 and their 4th round pick next year. So to move back 11 picks. So it looks like the Chargers may want maybe
they don't
top
want
receiver.
Will Levis.
Yeah, they don't want Will Levis.
Yeah, we know that.
Let's see the other team. New York Giants trying to trade up again for the 10th pick. They are offering 25, 57, 89, and their 2nd round pick next year for pick 105.
I don't like either of these deals for the Cardinals. I would take a player if I'm the Cardinals. Yep. We started off hot, trading. Now these trade offers are – I mean, those other offers are too much to pass up here. As far as the Cardinals go, maybe take the best wide receiver here. I would take the best wide receiver with all this DeAndre Hopkins news of them trying to ship him out of town. So we still got all the receivers left, right?
Yeah, very true. Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston, Jalen Hyatt, Zay Flowers. So those are the
if it was me, I would take JSN and put him with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. So, here's the Texans. Oh, we're going past the top 10 here. So
yeah, because we picked the Texans. All right.
Yeah, we're just gonna let this kind of play out. Just see if the Vikings even kind of make an offer.
So who did the Jets take there? I can't see.
The Jets took Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle. offensive
I'm sorry,
tackle.
the
So,
Titans, not the Jets. The Titans. They made a pick after the Cardinals did. Who'd they take?
oh, the Titan they picked tackle as well. Skornowski.
Okay,
Peter
that makes sense.
Skornowski. So Texans are here at 12. I'm just gonna pick for them real quick. Where do you think they go? They go offensive line. They go defensive line. What do you think? Receiver? They're probably receiver, huh? I would
I
say
would
they go
say receiver
receiver.
because they
Addison.
still maybe. Yeah, I could see that. I could.
Let's go Addison just to make it interesting. Falcons. Next. Yeah, we're not gonna do no trades. I just want to see it simulate to the
Mhm.
Vikings pick pretty much. So Falcons back on the board at 13. If they want Levis, they could get Levis here. But I
We're
think
getting
they
into that
go.
spot we talked about earlier about where Levis has fallen almost far enough to where he's in range for the Vikings, but that's a whole
Yeah,
nother conversation. Let's just do you have to make their pick, or can we
I
just
have to make
simulate it
their.
down?
You have to make their
Okay,
pick and the Raiders pick. So let's say they go corner. I say they can go corner here for the
all right,
Falcons.
okay.
Or yeah, they go corner here. Raiders, I'd say reject that. Say Raiders go defensive line maybe, edge rusher. I say they go shit. I think their offensive line struggled last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, let's get him an offensive lineman. Who's the top lineman left?
I just got him the top tackle. Will Levis to the Packers. Yeah.
Would
Will
that
Levis
not
to
be
the
some funny stuff, though?
Packers.
Oh my gosh, that is
Will
funny.
Levis to the Packers. All right, Lions in back-to-back picks here. I say
Uh,
they go Foskey, edge rusher to pair with
what do you think of AJ, who said Bijan a bunch of times in here? You think they take a running back after all this mess, or do you think they
mm,
set with Montgomery?
who Bears?
No, the Lions.
Oh, the line. No, I don't think they go running back that high.
I
They
don't think
could
so
though.
either. I was
Hell,
just
we'll
thinking
go
about it.
for it. Bijan at 19.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Seattle. Let's say Seattle goes D tackle with Breeze. Vikings go Joey Porter Jr.
We'll take that
Woo!
all day. No drama there. We'll take that all
All
day.
right, so
All day.
let's get to a quick Vikings mock now. So let me
I'm
start
gonna
this
let you
right
handle
here.
that. I gotta run back to work here, my boss.
All
So
right,
I'm
Justin,
a
appreciate you, my
but I'll
guy.
say this. If Porter Jr. was there after all of that, so
Oh,
Kyle, you got I
you run with it.
we would be happy. I would have been tempted with Quentin Johnson at wide receiver. Definitely not taking it and hooking there. But if Porter Jr. fell all that way to us with no
Yeah.
trades, we'd be very happy that night. We'd be very,
Mm-hmm.
very happy.
Very
That
true.
would be interesting with all those trades that went down though, and all those trade offers that we have. And you know what? Maybe that does
Very.
happen behind the scenes, and we just don't see it on TV there. But yeah, if that was the case, we'd be happy with that. But I'm gonna let you.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
tap out. I'm gonna let you do the Vikings bit here and watch it back later, my brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Justin. Have a good one, man.
Thanks everybody for joining. Hit the like buttons on both pages. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get Purple and Skull Media up to 300 by draft night. Let's get Purple and Gold for days up to
Yes.
600 by draft night. And keep it tuned
Yes.
here. As you all know, we're gonna do a live somehow, some way on draft night with all the different channels doing some contributions there. So keep it tuned to us. Hit them share buttons on Facebook. Hit those star buttons. You know the drill. But thank you kindly everybody for joining us. We very much appreciate you all tapping in today.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Peace.
SK, have a good one.
All right, so yes, sir. All right, so let's get this quick Vikings mock in real quick. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys, so you guys can see a little better. Boom, there we go. That's a little better for you. All right, so let's get this mock draft going. I got the Minnesota Vikings, all 7 rounds. Let's get it, you guys. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but if we got to trade, we got to trade. So let's start this draft. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, Tyree Wilson, Christian Gonzalez, Paris Johnson Jr. Let's see. Will Levis to the Jets. Wow, that's interesting. All right, coming up on our pick, Joey Porter went 20 to the Cardinals. All right, Jordan Addison just off the board here. So if you guys can't see, we got Brian Breesy on the board, Foskey, edge rusher out of Notre Dame, Kelly Ringo, Deontay Banks is still on the board. Let's see our trade offers though. We're not moving back to 46. Now, this is a possibility here. Buffalo Bills offering the 27th pick and the 59th pick for pick 23 and pick 119. I think you kind of have no choice. This is a great pickup for the Minnesota Vikings. We're picking up that extra second round pick that we desperately need in this draft. Also, by giving up one of the third round picks, I think we have 2 third round picks, if I'm not mistaken, this year. So I think we're gonna accept this trade from the Buffalo Bills for the 27th pick. Let me see if I can get some of your guys' comments in here. Yep, there we go. There you go, AJ. We'll take it. We'll take the Bills trade all day. We're gonna move back 4 spots and gain a second round pick while giving up the 119 pick. So we're gonna accept the Buffalo Bills. They took Ringo, tight end off the board, Nolan Smith off the board, offensive tackle off the board. All right. So let me see here. Bengals trying to move up just one. Hey, look at here. Look, if we were playing the long game, guys, I would take this pick in a heartbeat. Just trading back one pick with the Bengals, getting pick 28 from pick 27, and just gaining a third round pick in next year's draft. That's an easy come up. That I'm not going to accept. So, I mean, we still can do this trade back here just for the hell of it. I think the Bengals. I don't know where the Bengals go here. The Bengals are kind of a open book right here. Is Bijan already off the board, if I'm not mistaken? What do you guys think? Should I just take this Bengals trade? Just move down and take that extra third round pick, huh? You see that, AJ? You see the Patriots trying to rob us? Man. All right, Mike says move down. I think that's what we're going to do. Let's just take that extra third round pick next year for the hell of it. Patriots are probably still going to try. That's weird. So the Bengals want to trade back for that 28th pick and give us 60. We're not going to move that far back. Eagles want to move up from pick 30 and give us pick 219. And the Broncos, that's too far back. So if I'm trading with anybody here, it'd be the Eagles. But the guy I'm looking at right here at 28, it's either Deontay Banks or Zay Flowers, or you got a guy like in Trenton Simpson as well. So if I'm being completely honest, this is another easy decision for me. This is another move down. I know. No, AJ, that you got to take that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you take that. You take the extra pick. We don't have any late picks. That's an easy decision for us because I'm looking at this. You got top talent in Brian Breesy, top talent in Deontay Banks, top talent in Trenton Simpson, and a top talent in Zay Flowers. You're only moving back 2 picks. So chances are you're going to get the guy that you want. And my eyes are on Deontay Banks and Zay Flowers are my top 2 guys right now, with a Trenton Simpson and a Brian Breesy not too far behind. So let's go ahead and accept that. Get another pick there. And they go, Deontay Banks is off the board, and the tight end, Kincaid, is off the board, which it's not bad. We'll take that. I wanted Deontay Banks, but it's all good. We'll look at the trade offers. These are too far back for our liking. Yeah, well, that's actually not a very bad trade offer from the Bears, but I'm going to reject it anyways. Let's go ahead and make our pick in the first round. We're not going to play around. Let's reject these. So we got a guy in Brian Breesy who is a position of need right now. We got 2 positions of need. That's wide receiver 2, and that's interior defensive line. We got 2 top talents there, as well as linebacker and Trenton Simpson. Where do we go, guys? Those are our top 3 picks, in my opinion. Brian Breesy, Trenton Simpson, or Zay Flowers. Where do we go here? Where do we go? Let's get to these comments. AJ says Zay. Mike, yeah, we gotta make the pick here. I'm not gonna keep trading back and keep trading back. Even though that was a good trade offer, I don't know if you guys saw it from the Chicago Bears. They were offering pick 50 and 53 for pick 30 and pick 211. So that wasn't that bad of an offer. I may have taken it just to accumulate a bunch of second round picks. I think at that point we'd have 3 second round picks. But AJ says Zay. Do we have any objections against Zay Flowers at pick 30 here? I got 1 vote for Zay Flowers. I'm going to say it's between Zay Flowers, Trenton Simpson, and Brian Breesy. Where are we going? AJ says Zay. I'll give it a couple more seconds. I might just be going Zay here. And if I'm being honest, Brian Breesy, I'm cool on passing on because I'm hoping Mozzie Smith will be available at our next pick, which I believe is pick in the 40s. Or no. It's in the 57, I believe, from the Buffalo Bills. Mike says go Brian. Simpson or Flowers, says Justin. Simpson or Flowers. I think I'm leaning Flowers here. Because I'm a big Mozzie Smith fan. It's not just me being a Michigan fan. I'm a big believer in Mozzie Smith and his fit in this defense. So I think I'm gonna go Flowers. That's 2 votes for Flowers, and my heart's telling me Flowers. So let's go Zay Flowers at pick 30. I think that's a good pick. Pair him with Justin Jefferson. That's a very good receiving core with Mozzie Smith to the Raiders. There goes Mozzie. Trenton Simpson still available. There he goes. Not anymore. Goes to the Packers. Oh, crap. Packers always seem to grab a linebacker we want, don't they? Oh, no, we're not 57. Where are we at? 59. We're at 59. All right. So, yeah, we're not trading back to 89. Could trade back to 62 and grab an extra 3rd-round pick. Who are we looking at here? We got Ika, defensive tackle out of Baylor. I also like him. We have an Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State. I like him as well. Or do we trade back 3 spots and grab a 3rd round? I think I'm gonna reject this one because they also want 158 back. So I think I'm gonna reject this one, guys. We're not moving back to pick 89. So we're gonna pick here. So I think it's between. Let's see here. It's between Ika. I like Ika. Jeez, and Cansey almost fell to us down there at 59. That would have been lovely. Not necessarily the greatest fit for this defense, but just as a baller, I want that guy on my team, man. Yeah, JJ Skinner went early. What's up, the McAndrews? Welcome in. Tap that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button as well. If you're tapping in for Purple and Gold for days, make sure to go over to the Purple and SKOL'd media page. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And if you're watching from the Purple and SKOL'd media page, go ahead and go over to the Purple and Gold for days and hit that like and hit that subscribe. So I think I'm going Ika here. Guys. Yeah, take the Baylor kid. That's another position of need. I think he plugs and plays. He's a good fit. So I think I'm going to go Ika here. So we'll go Ika. Our next pick, I believe, is in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong, though, guys. I saw a lot of trade offers. I've been GMing it up. It might be in the 80s then. We might have, our 87. We have our 87. So let's see here. There we go. 87 coming up. Cornerback, still a position of need. We're not going to trade that far back. We could trade 10 spots back and pick up another pick, possibly. But I think we're going to reject those. Let's reject that Niner one for sure. Let's reject this one too. But obviously, cornerback position of need, linebacker position of need. We have a guy in Ivan Pace who I've been seeing mocked to the Minnesota Vikings a lot. Very athletic, not necessarily the big bully linebacker that we're accustomed to in the old type of NFL. Very athletic and up to par for nowadays type of football in the NFL. So I think I like Ivan Pace here. You also got a guy in Tyreek Stevenson. I know a lot of people are high on Tyreek Stevenson. I haven't done my full report on him, so I can't necessarily speak on that. So I think it's between those two. It's between Ivan Pace Jr. and Tyreek Stevenson. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Yeah, Julius Brents to the Rams. That's another guy I like. Rap is big on Julius Brents as well. No, we need pace. There we go. AJ again. No, we need pace. We'll be playing small right there, but I believe he will be nice. I agree. I think I'm gonna go pace here as well. Oh, Mike says take the cornerback from Miami. I know. Actually, I remember you speaking on him when we did our mock last time, Mike. So give me a reason why I should take the cornerback from Miami over our guy Pace out of Cincinnati, because I like Pace. I think he'll fit in well here. So why should we take the cornerback from Miami over our guy Pace? Give me a reason. Change my mind. I'm like the guy in the park on the table, the little sign in my cup of coffee. Change my mind, Mike. Change my mind. Trying to see if I can find out. Can't see where our next pick is. Okay, yeah, I can. All right, let's see. Where's our next pick? I think it's 119. Nope, we traded that one away. 150. Yeah, it's down here ways. 158. 158 is our next pick. So, yeah, let me hear what you got to say about the Miami kid, Mike. Me and AJ haven't really been able to check him out yet. Yeah, definitely need a corner, but do you think he's a fit? Is he a man corner? Is he zone? But let me see if I can pull up his report on here, actually. Let me see. Okay, here we go. 6 foot, 198 pounds. His RAS is 8.89, which is very good. As indicated by a documented 37.7 vertical jump from high school, Stevenson has very exciting athletic qualities. The Miami cornerback is a supremely explosive athlete who brings excellent closing speed coming downhill. He's an instant long striding accelerator with elite explosive capacity. That explosiveness helps him recover from transitions that aren't as clean, and it, along with his speed, allows him to quickly undercut routes. Stevenson's explosiveness is one of his bedrock traits, but the Miami cornerback also has enough fluidity to work with. He can quickly snap his hips upfield when pressing receivers against the boundary. Moreover, he transitions with little strain and doesn't often experience much delay. After jamming outside, Stevenson can flip his hips back outside and re-enter phase to pick up his acceleration. He isn't the quickest on 180-degree transitions, but he's shown to be smooth and composed. Okay. Okay. It sounds good. It sounds good. Let's see the hype on Ivan Pace here. After starring for Miami, Ohio last season, Ivan Pace transferred to Cincinnati to reunite with his younger brother Deshaun and improve his draft stock. He's had his issues in coverage and with penalties, but don't let that distract you from his dominance in the box. Coming downhill is where Pace thrives, blowing up linemen, wreaking havoc in the backfield. Cincinnati has unleashed him as a pass rusher from the middle, allowing him to shoot through gaps and bring down the QB. 10 sacks. What Pace lacks in size, he makes up for with pure energy and aggression. So those sound like two guys that are a fit for the Flores defense, if I'm being honest. He said, oof, this analysis is rough. Said this analysis is rough. That's funny. Okay, we signed Troy. Mike says we signed linebacker Troy Reader, who won the Super Bowl, and he helps our depth. and we have Brian and Hicks. Okay, so this is where I side with you, Mike. We ain't worried about coverage. He gonna be sacking the court. Okay, so here's where I'm looking at, but from both sides. We go corner here. We still have an opportunity at linebacker later on the draft, and Dorian Williams out of Tulane, who I'm particularly a fan of. And you also got cornerbacks later on in the draft, though, and guys like Jacorian Bennett out of Maryland, who I'm also a fan of. So we got options here, guys. But if I'm being honest, I think I might be leaning cornerback here. Because we can find a linebacker in a Dorian Williams later, but I also do like Jacorian Bennett as well. I'm leaning pace. I'm sorry, Mike. I know I'm fighting back and forth, but I think I'm going to go pace here. SKOL'd to the bowl. He said, who you need here. So, okay, so you haven't seen who we drafted yet. So let me see if I can pull up our draft board. Team needs. So in the first round, we picked up Zay Flowers. Second round, we picked up Ika, defensive tackle out of Baylor. So now we're looking at a cornerback or a linebacker, which we're sitting in a good spot here. Tyreek Stevenson or Ivan Pace. Both positions of need because we do want to get rid of Hicks. And we do need help at cornerback. So you know what? I'm going to ask you too. East Coast. Yes, Ika is excellent. I wanted Mozzie Smith, but I'm taking Ika all day. Ika was sitting there waiting for us. So that's what kind of swayed me. Yeah, let me show you. Here goes the cornerbacks first. So Stevenson's on the board. I like Valentine. Let me see if I can scroll down here. There we go. Carrington Valentine, Miles Brooks, Jacorian Bennett. Again, I'm a big fan of Jacorian Bennett. I like Jacorian Bennett a lot. Riley Moss. I know some people are big on Riley Moss. Garrett Williams, who's coming off an injury, I'm not a big fan of. So those are available corners. Tyreek Stevenson, Darius Rush, Alex Austin, and Trevius Hodges Tomlinson are the top 4 available for corners. For linebackers, we have Ivan Pace, Dion Henley, who I know a lot of people are high on, Henry DeMarvin Overshone. I like Overshone. I'm trying to scroll down. Dorian Williams. I'm a fan of Dorian Williams. I think he'll be available. So top linebackers available: Ivan Pace, Dion Henley, Henry To'o, and DeMarvion Overshone. Our next pick is until 158. Next pick's not till 158. He said THT. You think Mozzie Smith will be a bust? I don't think he's gonna be a bust. Said Overshone is better than Pace. Okay. So you think we should go the corner here? Think we should go to corner here? You said THT. What's that, corner? Or are you talking about linebacker? My bad. I think I'm going. I think I might go Stevenson here. So I think I'm gonna go Stevenson here. Or you think we should reach for one of those guys like a Riley Moss? Mike is saying, what did Mike say again? Mike says go the corner out of Miami. Mike says go Stevenson. Oh, you saying go Overshone right now? Go Overshone right now, huh? Ooh. Overshone right now because we are at pick, 87? Yeah, we're down at pick 87. I think that might be a little bit of a reach. Go Stevenson. All right, I'm gonna go Stevenson. Looks like we have majority Stevenson. There's a chance Overshow might be there. There's a chance Overshow might be there. So let's go Stevenson. Let's go Stevenson. There's no way I can speed this damn thing up either. So Pace is still there. Pace is now he's gone. Here, let me keep an eye on Overshown. Overshown's gone. Henley's still available, but we still got 50 some odd picks till our pick. Dorian, he's gone now. Dorian Williams is still there. Let's look at our. Hold on. This might be a spot to draft DTR coming up too, if he's available. Keep an eye on DTR here. She said no, so now we trade for Simmons. Said forget AR-15. All right. DTR is available. DTR is available. Let me see who else is at the top of our board here. Isaiah McGuire. I'm trying to look at positions of need here. If you want to go center, you have the center out of Michigan, who I think is going to be a good player at the next level. But I don't necessarily think that's a super position of need. We just signed Bradbury. Let me see. Got wide receiver taken care of. Just got to look at our linebackers. Dorian Williams is still there. I like Dorian Williams. Oh wow, Tank Dell went 156. Wow. I think it's between Dorian Williams and it's between DTR. DTR and Dorian Williams, if I'm being completely honest. What do you guys think? I know a lot of you guys are going to say DTR. DTR or Dorian Williams? Where are we going? Linebacker or quarterback? Linebacker or quarterback? Where are we going? AJ says DTR. Anybody against DTR? We might be going DTR here. Let me see where my next pick is at. Let's see where the next pick is at. Next pick is, I think, 211. Yeah, I think it's 211. Yep, 211 is our next pick. So quarterback's going to be gone at that time. So is the top linebackers. East Coast says Max Dugan. I like Max Dugan too, man. I like Max Dugan too. Dugan, whatever you call him. Oh, man. AJ's on that. Oh, love DTR and Max is the best available. Oh, man. Oh, it's getting heated in here. Where we going? Hit those like buttons. Hit those shares. Hit that subscribe. Where are we going? DTR or Duggan? DTR, Duggan, or Dorian Williams at linebacker? Because I'll tell you right now, we can get our linebacker here in Dorian Williams and then possibly come back and get Duggan or Dugan. Oh, Max is hot garbage. Oh, man. Oh, snap. I don't know, man. I'm loving DTR, but he lacks that zip. That's the first. I haven't dug real deep into DTR film, but the film I have watched, he lacks a little zip. Lacks a little zip. DTR is better than Dugan. Dugan is not it. He's basically a guy who ended up in the XFL. Yeah, I want to hear y'all reasons. I want to hear y'all. I like Dugan. I like Dugan. I mean, I saw it firsthand as a Michigan fan in the playoff of what he can do. So I like Dugan. I think he's got a little something. But I like DTR too. I think is we can still grab him. Where we going? DTR, Dugan, or Dorian Williams? Where we going? Y'all tell me. It's looking like it might be DTR. Looking like it might be DTR. Dugan, bad decisions during the shootout. Let's just go DTR. I'm going DTR. I'm going DTR. I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. Now, let's see. Dorian Williams is there at 211. That'd be great. I'll take that and run with it. Take that and run with it. There goes Garrett Williams. There, Dorian Williams off the board. There we go. All right. All right. Riley Moss is still sitting there. Riley Moss is still sitting there. East Coast Gridiron, Riley Moss. If he's there at 211, we got to grab him, right? He got took. He got took. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just playing. Yeah. Well, yeah, the athleticism from DTR is really the difference for me. All right, 211. This is the last pick of the draft for us. Again, Max Dugan was there, so we could have picked the linebacker and Max Dugan, but it's all good. Where do you guys think we go here? Last pick of the draft. Where do we go? Where do we go? We go kicker. We go kicker. Where's Moody? Jake Moody out of Michigan. Sign me up. I'll let you guys pick the last pick. Who are we picking at 211? You guys got a guy that's late in the draft that you want to pick? Last pick of the draft. Last pick of the draft. Let's look at corners. Terrell Smith, Aquan Bush, Cam Brown, Kamari Connor, Noah Daniels. Those are the top corners available. Who are we picking? Last pick of the draft, guys. Last pick of the draft. Who are we picking up? Who are we picking up? That's the top corners. Top available. This is the top available. Let's see if I can. There we go. Scroll down for y'all. Dwayne McBride. I like Dwayne McBride if you want to go there and add to that running back room. Yeah, I like Dugan, man. Look, if it was completely my choice, probably would have drafted that linebacker and then came back and got Dugan. Yaya Diaby, McBride. All right, let's go McBride. I'm going McBride. It's over. So that's going to wrap up our mock draft. We'll see the final results here. Oh, shoot. We got another pick. Okay, defense. Let's go edge rusher. Edge rusher. Give me somebody. We got McBride. I think Yaya DB is gone. I think he's gone. Diaby, whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, Diaby's gone. So let's do best available. Let's go corner. Terrell Smith. Screw it. That's the end of our draft. But yeah, wrap it up, guys. I'll let you guys see the end results and I'll get up out of here. I was on a whole lot longer than I probably should have been. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Appreciate you guys tapping in with me. It's almost done. DTR gets the edge on athleticism, but Max is a dog. And look, that's the one thing that I've been looking for, especially in a quarterback. Look, Kirk Cousins, all the talent in the world, man. I even think he's athletic enough to just get the job done, just to be able to move around in the pocket. But he doesn't have that dog. Doesn't have that dog in him. We want a guy that's got that dog in him. So here is the results for our mock draft. Zay Flowers at 30 in the first round. We traded back a couple times and gained an extra third round pick gained an extra fourth round pick, excuse me, and a second round pick. Grabbed Siaki Ika out of Baylor, Tyreek Stevenson out of Miami, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, quarterback out of UCLA, Dwayne McBride, and Terrell Smith. And we also grabbed a third-round pick from the Cincinnati Bengals in next year's draft. So I think that was a pretty solid draft, guys. I don't think that's too bad of a draft. What would you grade it? Go ahead and put your grade in the comments. And as you're doing that, go ahead and hit that like button for Purple and SKOL'd Media, and also hit that subscribe button too. Let's get those subscribers up to 300 plus. I'm trying to get some shit away. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like. Everybody on Facebook, hit that like, hit that share button, and hit those stars, man. Support the page. We're trying to do it big over here, trying to give you guys the best possible setup and Vikings content out there. So I'm gonna stop the screen share there. Oh, they're talking about the jersey. What's up? Too Evil to Hope. Looks like everybody's good with those results. Appreciate you. But yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit those likes, and hit those share buttons, guys. I appreciate you guys tapping in. It is your boy SK with Purple and SKOL'd Media. And we're also streaming on Purple and Gold for days. Go ahead and hit the subscribe and hit the like buttons for that channel as well. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.